Hello everyone, my name is Brian, and today we're gonna be talking about some really essential tools that you need in your kitchen to make exceptional master quality bread. What you got in your kitchen is what you'll be able to use. I'm talking about kitchen scale, I'm talking about mixing bowls, different baking vessels, and other simple small things like bench scrapers. Don't let them overwhelm you. You don't really need much. These are super simple tools to use, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I utilize them in my kitchen when I'm baking for my family and friends. First and foremost, we are gonna be talking about the kitchen scale, the most important tool in my kitchen. My favorite tool to use, and I'm gonna show you exactly why. Typically, you might be used to using different forms of measuring cups. Today, I'm gonna show you really quickly why using a scale will get you the most accurate measurement for your bread recipe. This is my dry ingredient measuring cup, okay? You've probably got one of these, you've probably seen these, and when you used it, you might have done something like this, all right? You've got a bread recipe that calls for a cup of flour, so you reach deep into your flour container, you pull this out. We're gonna weigh it so that we can see exactly how much flour we actually have. So I've got 183 grams of flour in my bowl. Conversely, you may measure your flour with your measuring cup like this, and you might take some sort of device to just level it off, thinking, wow, this must be the most accurate measure of all time. Okay, but in comparison to the other, we've only got 150 grams of flour, right? So depending on how you use these measuring cups, you might actually be getting different quantities of flour. Okay, so using the scale, when you go to your recipe and you've got that weight ingredient, you don't need to worry about whether your cup is packed or not packed. You just need to simply put that amount of the ingredient into your mixing bowl. I prefer to use a nice glass mixing bowl because it offers more visual cues for you during the bread making process to see when it's time to move on to the next step. That being said, we've got many different types of bowls. You've got ceramic bowls, stainless steel bowls, plastic bowls. You probably got a variety of different mixing bowls in your kitchen. If you somehow do not have a single mixing bowl, it is okay. You can literally get a pot, all right, or a Dutch oven and use it as a mixing bowl. I've done it many times. You can make bread with whatever you have in your kitchen. What's really important when you're making dough is to be able to have enough room to mix your ingredients properly. You don't want a bowl that's too small if you're mixing a lot of dough because you might not be able to get your hands in there to get the water evenly incorporated. If you have a stand mixer, you can pop your ingredients in there, put on your dough hook attachment, and you can quickly get your dough together. However, I feel that you lose the connection with your dough at that point, and I really encourage you to get your mixing bowl, get your hands in there, and make your bread. Now we are moving on to baking vessels, and I am going to show y'all my favorite tools to use for actually baking the bread. First and foremost, I love using combo cookers, all right? Cast iron, all right? Nice and heavy. It's a little workout, all right? Comes in 2 small components, and the way this works, these are specifically designed to retain heat, and that heat is very important in the process of making your dough rise. If you don't have a combo cooker, you often might find that you've got a Dutch oven, all right, and these come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. Some are ceramic coated, some are not. Your Dutch oven is also going to retain heat just as well as these, and you can use this to make a nice round, crispy loaf. Alternatively, you might have a pizza stone, okay? Pizza stones are an excellent tool to have for baking bread in your home kitchen. Again, it's the same idea as the cast iron. These stones are designed to retain heat in order to cook your bread fast. The combo cooker, the pizza stone, the Dutch oven, these are the ones I use when I'm trying to achieve a nice, crunchy, rustic loaf of bread. So we've got a couple other baking vessels that we're gonna use when we're making different types of bread. Here we have some loaf tins. I love to use loaf tins when I'm baking soft sandwich bread or some sweeter types of bread, like a babka or anything that might want to have that kind of shape. it's soft, it's baked at a lower temperature. Usually I like to get the non-stick ones because it'll be very easy for you to remove your loaf and cool your loaf after you've baked. Another very important item to have in your kitchen are sheet pans or sheet trays. Sheet trays are a very cool item to have if you are trying to make some soft dinner rolls or if you're making any kind of bun, a cinnamon roll. Sheet trays are the way to go. You always want to put a sheet of parchment paper onto your sheet pan. They're very versatile. I'm going to show you how to make some really delicious bread with this baking vessel. Now that we have gone over the essential tools to have in your kitchen for making bread, there are a few other items I'd love to show you guys so that you can continue to cultivate that craft and make better bread. If you want to get a little more fancy, all right, if you want to step your game up just a little bit, you can acquire a proofing basket. I always have a couple of these on hand. All right, these are made out of rattan wood, usually lined with a little bit of linen. All right, and what this does is if your shaping is not too great, you put your dough in here, over time as it ferments, it'll actually hold that dough together and give you that nice full shape that you're looking for with your bread. But you can also just use what you have on hand in your kitchen, which is a cutting board, shape it nice and tight and let it rise for a second time. Next up, I will talk to you guys about thermometers. The first one is an oven thermometer that I keep in my oven. And this is great because we are preheating our combo cooker, we're preheating our pizza stone or our Dutch oven to 500 degrees. That might not be a temperature you use often, so having this thermometer in the oven is a great way to make sure that you're at the right temperature before you bake your bread. Another type of thermometer that's very useful to have in your kitchen is an instant read thermometer. And this is great if you're a beginner because during the bread making process, it's always important to know that your bread is cooked on the inside. You don't want to serve raw bread. You want to be able to have bread that's fully baked. And when you stick this into the bottom of the bread, you can ensure that you achieve the desired internal temperature for your bread to be baked. Next, we have a very, very fun tool. These are called bench scrapers or bench knives, and they're very useful for dividing your dough. You've probably got chef knives or butter knives or different knives already in your kitchen. You might be thinking, why do I need something else that cuts? Quite frankly, using different types of knives, it's going to actually damage your dough. You're going to be putting a little bit too much tension and pressure. Your bench knife offers a nice, clean, crisp situation. You usually just do one smooth cut down your dough. You're not disrupting your dough. That's just one of the many, many benefits of having a bench knife in your kitchen. Very useful also for cleaning up. If you spill flour, you can kind of just, boom. Very useful tool to have in your kitchen. We have gone over our essential tools to make great bread at home, from our scale to our mixing bowls to our baking vessels. And we've also gone over some optional tools to have in your kitchen, like the proofing basket, the bench scraper. Now we are ready to get into the kitchen and make some awesome bread.